All right, so we're going to head out to the desert floor, and I'll tell you about the 20 Mule Team Trail up here at Borax Bill. So the little campsites on the desert floor, they're all the same. They got a nice gazebo, picnic table, barbecue unit, trash can, fire pit, of course a creosote bush, and all the rules and instructions. Here's for your bikes. I think they got about 12 different spots here for your camping. Lots of cool trails out here for your recreational vehicles, your dune buggies, or your off-road motorcycles. Everybody's ridden up here on these trails. Be careful though, always wear a helmet. Here, way out here in the middle of nowhere, we got a little fire ring. I guess for some partying or for some camping. I guess it's legal, but they left their trash there. You gotta clean that up. So if you come out here, please clean up your trash. This whole desert floor, it's all creosote bushes. Now it's a lariat tridentata, and trident refers to the end of the leaves here. So the leaves are basically 3 little leaves at the tip of each kind of petiole, all right? And these guys here are starting to bloom. See a little flower there? He'll bloom a little flower, make a little seed pod. And the seeds aren't very good at promulgating, but sometimes they do. So this plant really grows by sending offshoots out to grow new plants. Hey, check this out. We got a couple more burrows here. I don't know, it could be a snake. Could be maybe a wood rat. Maybe a desert squirrel. Hey, so types of snakes we found out here. You got rattlesnakes, of course. I think you have sidewinders as well. And both are poisonous, I believe. So, be careful. All right, so I'm standing in the middle of a creosote ring. And this is all one plant from the mother who has been growing right about where I stand now. So as she dies off, she'll send out her roots and they'll grow into new plants to form this giant circle all around me. And this will continue for, generations of plants and generations. They'll expand outward. And the oldest known creosote ring is about 12,000 years old. And that's out by Yucca Valley or Fantasy Springs out there in that area. So if you did a DNA test on each of these plants, you'll find basically they all have the same DNA structure. So that's pretty cool about our creosote bushes. They just keep growing and expanding, and nothing really will grow in the middle here because they all send out this enzyme or this protein that prohibits other plants from growing next to them. So these creosote bushes are also great for fire, wood burning. They love it when there's a giant fire that wipes out all the other plants. They just come back and thrive. Every now and then you find a plant like this. This is called a Ambrosia dumosa. And what it does is it grows next to our creosote plants. And this too has a certain enzyme it sends out from its roots, or a protein, that prevents other Ambrosia dumosas from growing next to it. Like, here's one here. See, they're kind of separated here? So together, they kind of offset each other just enough so each one can survive. So of course, hundreds of millions of years ago, this whole plain, this whole valley was underwater. When the mountains rose, and the volcanoes rose, out here and around, they started eroding away with the water and the wind, form these big alluvial basins that come down. All right, and that's what we have here. Now, so the type of soil we're going to get here is going to be a combination of like gravel, like I have here, okay, higher sand or larger sand particles, and also we're going to get some mud. This is mud or silt, and the mud was laid down much longer ago than these bigger pieces, and probably from the high Sierras whatever hundreds of millions of years ago, as it settled out here in the ocean floor. And the more recently, you get these gravel or these higher, sized or larger sized pebbles that eroded off the volcanoes or the local mountains much later in time. So it's a pretty unique little environment here to grow all these wonderful creosote bushes. So we're looking for our giant desert tortoise, and the closest we can come to him is right here. This guy, a little bit of tortoise poop, all right? A little big, he's really soft. He's not meaty like a kit fox or a coyote or a mountain lion, but he's all kind of just vegetative. See that? It just falls apart. Tortoise poop. Over here, got some more over here. So maybe we're on the trail to find our giant desert tortoise. All right, check out all these little burrows. The can, of course, in there. Who lives in there? All right, so look at this rock here. This is a layered rock. See this here? That's got layers and layers and layers deposited over millions of years of just sand and silt, mud, packs down to make this mudstone or the sandstone. If you get a chisel, you can get your chisel and pop it right down the center here, open up this rock, and who knows, you might find a fossil. Well, that's cool. All right, this rock is pretty cool. So this is lichen here. All right, and he'll grow in colonies on this rock here as well. What they'll do is they'll help erode the rock away and split it. Right here. There's some down here. All right. I don't find a lot of lichen out here, so this is a pretty good find for our desert here. Hey, check out this find. We got a bone. It's pretty heavy. It's got a lot of marrow in it. It's definitely a mammal of some type of animal. Maybe it belongs right here. Right here? Is that a femur? All right, so we're still out in the Mojave Desert. Check out this. I found a golf ball. Nitro. All right, have to give this to my friend Gary if he's watching. But Gary, you have to ask him for it. All right. All right, got some little animal tracks, maybe from a little bunny, little animal. Here we do. We got some little animal poop. I mean, that's pretty big. I don't know if it's from a bunny. Maybe it's from a kit fox. I don't know. If you know, let me know. Just send in the comments below. Thanks. Hey, now check out this guy here. It's like in full blossom. Oh, look at those. Wonderful seeds. Flowers. But over here, this is the find. Check this out. This is a Cylindrica. It's like a teddy bear cactus, but it's a silver cholla cactus. And you'll see this. He's got these really white barbs coming out on these cylinders. That's why you get Cylindrica, his name. And these barbs, they'll kind of stick to you, attach, and then this segment will stick to you, or an animal's fur, and then when the animal runs away, in a mile away or so, it falls off, replants his plant. I don't see a lot of these out here, so this is a very cool find. It's our silver cholla. All right. All right, so check this out. Over here I found. Look at this big old hole. Now this is a big critter who lives down here. right? Since our burrowing animal might be a tortoise who backfilled this for hibernation. Maybe some other giant reptile. Maybe a big old mammal. Well, it's a mystery. All right. That's a very cool hole. The Borax Bill Parking Station sits on the 20 Mule Team Trail. From 1883 to 1889, wagons hauled borax along this road 165 miles from Death Valley to Mojave. The route was laid out by J.W.S. Perry. He and his mule skinner, named Ed Stiles, designed the wagons to carry the heavy loads to the train depot. The wagon beds were 16 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 6 feet deep. The front wheels were 5 feet high, and rear wheels 7 feet high. When loaded, each wagon weighed 31,800 pounds. Two such wagons and a water tank weighing 9,600 pounds. They were pulled by a team of 18 mules and 2 large draft horses. They traveled 15 to 18 miles a day across the mountains and the desert. The round trip took 20 days. Not one animal lost their life on the trail, and no wagons broke down, while hauling over 20 million pounds of borax. We shall always remember the courage, strength, ingenuity, and stamina it took for such work. These men and beasts are true heroes of America's past. There we go, I got him. Well, that concludes our tour of Borax Bill up at California City, Mojave Desert. Now we're headed out to the Desert Tortoise Natural Reserve area, and hope you can join me with that video too.